That's cool. So we're starting another interview here. We've already started.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me a bit about who you are and your name and what you do?
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Ian Leyland. I'm the global lead environment artist for CIG. So what that means is I'm in charge of multiple environment teams around the world, and I've got to make sure that the art director's vision for environments is up to scratch, both technically and visually. You've got multiple disciplines within the game, so you've got weapons, characters, VFX, ships, and obviously environments. So anything that you see, landscape, architecture, that kind of thing, it all kind of has to come through my eyes to make sure we're getting good things. Now, one of the most complex part of it is the scale. We're not making like 12 levels of bespoke environment art. It's a little bit bigger than that. So, we came up with a modular system to kind of give the designers, a toy box to be able to build without art support. Right. And then we go in there and then we make it look good. And it seems to be working out all right. And a lot of what you're going to see tonight is basically the result of a fairly small dev team, like compared to like a big AAA studio. Right. But if you actually look at what we've achieved, it's actually quite astonishing because the square footage of space that you're walking around, it's literally massive. It's good.
Everyone that's come in here has said one little thing about what you should expect later, and not really saying anything. And it's okay. At this point, it's driving me mad.
We're putting the puzzle pieces together. The gaps still.
So it's probably all a bit cryptic like right now, but my guys, my team have been working massively hard. They've all been. They've not been, working late every night. I don't really believe in that type of game development. Right. Things should be made with passion, and it should be made with love. Rather than, you've got to work late tonight. You've got to get it done. And that kind of shows. And I know we're teasing what we're going to show, but it's pretty spectacular. We've put in the hard work, and we're really happy with what we've achieved.
I cannot wait to see it. First off, when did you actually start at CIG?
So I started, just over a year and a half ago. So pretty much when CIG UK was established. Okay. So I worked with my current art director at our previous place, and when I knew he was going to be, making cool space games, then I was one of the first over. So I was there from pretty much the beginning, and it's been nice to grow the team. So at the start I think there's maybe 4 of us on the environment team, and now we're about 12. Okay. And then since then, earlier on in the year, I kind of took ownership of other teams around the world because we was all making really good stuff, but it was kind of different, and it kind of needed someone to really make sure we're all making the same things, making sure we're efficient.
So like the ships have their pipeline and FPS has its pipeline, you guys have a environment pipeline kind of thing?
Yeah. So one of the first things I did, pretty much when I started, was I kind of worked out what I needed to give design in terms of pipeline. Right. And in previous projects, a designer will come over and say, can you just move this door over a little bit? Or can you move that window? And the artist would have to manually cut it in. Right. But, we're using CryEngine, so we need to play to our strengths. So they do all their building within the environment. We give them almost like a tile set of Lego bricks, and then off you go. Build what you want, and they'll take it to a certain stage, and then we get it back and we play through it. And you know exactly what the gameplay is. You know exactly the notes and the pacing that the design want to achieve, and we just make it look good. So it's fantastic. So the process actually works very, very good, and I'm lucky to have both a very strong environment team that's on my team, and also the lead level designer at UK, Mike. He's fantastic. So having the right team to work with helps out a lot.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about like some of the craziest places you've made so far in the game? Like what have,
Okay.
if there's any you can tell us that we've already seen.
Right, let's think. The craziest places. Well, we do a lot of R&D in-house, so that's the best way to solve problems. And obviously, I can't really tell you, but you're making something amazing when you watch your guys playing it. Like we've worked on games and people put their headphones on and they just make it and then they go home. When you actually see your team play the game and seeing them play it with tears streaming down their eyes because they're laughing so much, you're making something special. And again, what you're kind of going to see today is what we're going to release, and it's a sandbox. So you make up the rules, you make up your own scenarios, and the stuff you can do. Like my guys were crying of laughter because they was just trying different things. Of like, I wonder if I could do this, and they did it, and it was phenomenal. We've never had this sort of experience to make these type of games before, right. So it's good. I know that's not really your question, but
that's I'll take that answer.
Okay.
So in the grand eventual scheme of things, like are there going to be, we've seen a lot of interior spaces, interiors of ships, interiors of, stations and stuff, hangars. Are there going to be natural interiors as well, like caves and that sort of thing?
Absolutely, yes. There's actually an environment coming up fairly soon. Part of the first 5 planet side. It's called Levski Landing Zone. And that's all tunnels. And my art director loves that set because basically we have building sets.
Right.
So we have art styles, architectural styles, and within those architectural styles we have building sets. So within our low-tech architectural style, we've got a number of building sets.
Okay.
And what you're seeing on Nix is a low-tech building set. And like I said, my AD loves it because it's all about the tunnels. But you think about modular building and tunnels, it doesn't really fit in. So the kind of the rule set we run to is the building set's only going to get you 60% of the way. So that you can do anything you want with those 60%. And then you do concept paint overs, and the AD looks at it, and then he decides where he wants to take that remaining 40%. Right. Okay. I mean, you could release with that 60%, but you'd see a bit of repetition. The gameplay will still be exactly the same, but we really want the player to experience level like navigation, exploration, and all of these like really subtle game development tricks that we do. They're really important just to make sure that we engage the player as you feel like you're traversing through the space.
I can't wait to see more, honestly. We had someone say, we asked what's your favorite ship, and his answer was, I can't tell you. And
yeah, I know it is a little bit of like mystery and things like that, but
it's great though. We love it.
Yeah, it is tricky seeing it because obviously we're on the inside and we can see all the things, and we've got to be careful. Of course we want to tell you about it. I just want to say, look at this stuff, guys, isn't this amazing? But obviously we can't do that. I'm glad you guys don't do that because it makes the surprise later, it's going to make it so much better. Okay. What is your favorite ship? My favorite ship? I can tell you what my least favorite ship is. I mean, it's kind of interesting.
I like that.
But it's kind of interesting, but it's polarizing, but in the good way. Like I studied industrial design for my major on my degree. So I learned all about the classic process of designing, and designing is polarizing. What one person loves, another person hates. Yeah. But that's the good thing about design is because it sparks those emotional responses. And it's the same thing with our ships. And also I don't have any influence on the ships, but I look at the Freelancer and I'm like, man, that ship. But a guy on my team loves that ship. And there's always like a bit of banter in the office about that ship.
I love the Freelancer. I can't stand the Redeemer. And the Redeemer was voted by the fans to win. And nope.
What would be my favorite ship? I don't know. I think I've still got a soft spot for the Hornet. So when when Hannah's did the original Hornet trailer,
Right.
and I watched it, and I pretty much knew then that I was going to join the project, and this is what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
So I suppose there's always a soft spot, and plus the Retaliator's awesome as well.
Oh man.
But that's purely because, it's interesting because the ships are made by different people.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of the flavors from the artist coming through.
Right.
And the dude that made the Retaliator, there's a few guys that made it, but you see the love that they put into it, and it kind of makes me a little bit biased.
I think we all see the love that goes into everything, from the ships to the environments to everything, really. Sorry. So how much, we've got the social module right now, and we've got people walking around ArtCorp, and how much did you have to do with?
So ArtCorp was led out of Austin,
Yeah.
and the main environment team that worked on that was the guys at Behavior.
Yeah.
So I'm very good friends with Manny, the lead over at Behavior. So I speak to them 3-4 times a week.
Awesome.
We do regular asset reviews, regular video reviews, and where it kind of falls into my jurisdiction is Mark Skelton is the AD on that, and he tells me, I speak to him almost every day, and it's really interesting because I speak to Mark so often, and I speak to him in his house, I speak to him in his work, and I was lucky enough to go to his son's birthday party when last time I was in Austin. So, they're more like family that you work with rather than work colleagues. It's such a unique workspace. So he gives me his really high vision of this is what I want, and the design director's obviously in Austin as well. And I've got to kind of take that and make sure that the talented team in Behavior in Austin are not making something that I can't use elsewhere.
Right.
For the whole ethos of this thing to work is any bit of artwork that gets made, I can use it somewhere else. All our technology is going to be based around that. These modular building sets, we've invested a lot of time into getting it so that the draw calls aren't way over. So, because it's built out of all these building blocks.
Yeah.
But then if you don't find a way to reduce the draw call counts of merging them together, then it's never going to work, right?
Right.
So, I speak with Manny in Behavior, I speak with the team, making sure that they're doing the textures correctly, they're modeling correctly. I look at my guys and making sure they're doing the exact same thing. So just kind of wrangling this team in, and we're all going in the same direction. So, yeah, some weeks it feels like the ball's getting in front of you a little bit, but it's just the nature of it. We're making a lot of content.
Yeah.
But it's going good.
Awesome. I guess I'm going to ask one more question before I let you go.
Okay.
Basically, the community of Star Citizen is heavily invested in everything that you guys do. What can we do to help you guys?
Wow. It's just keep doing what you're doing, because, the development team has good days and bad days. We're all human beings, we come to work, everyone's got problems and everyone's trying to do the best they can. And when you're down, the thing that picks you up is when you see someone really enjoying something that you've done, just a little detail that you put a bit more time into, and then you see someone play it and understand it. That kind of gives you that boost to kind of push on. So I guess it's keep being passionate and keep showing the support, showing the love, and we'll notice it. We'll notice it every single time, and that will push us again to take it to the next level.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Thanks so much.